For some reason, I was expecting more heat out of it.
Oh, that's what's missing. Hold on, I'll be back.
Okay. I was like, something about it says like I need heat.
Hey everyone, we are here at SOL again for a new episode. And guess what we're doing today?
What are we doing today?
We're eating Cape Verdean food. Yeah, see, you did something similar to what you make fun of me to do, but...
Yeah, but I don't do it just randomly. So, this is some of the stuff I did not try in the last video, right? This is some of the things that you wanted to provide, but, you know, there were some extenuating circumstances there. Extenuating.
For those who don't know what Justin's talking about, we've done a Cape Verdean food video before. We'll link it up here for you. And I've always wanted to do a redo with him because originally when we did that video, I wanted to have these particular products with me, and at that time I did have them. But then I had a passing in the family. It's all explained in the video. I'm not gonna go into it again. So he wasn't able to try the actual like Cape Verdean food staples, which is what I have here today. So we wanted to do a redo. So today I actually have with me, I have pastel d'atún, which is basically tuna fish. It's like a tuna fish pastry pocket. I have Kochupa. And I also have Buffoon. For all my Creole folks out there, we all know what this is because if you're Creole, you know what this is. So the first thing I thought we can try is our pastel because that's kind of like an appetizer. Typically when we go to parties, well, every party you go to, even if it's Christmas or Thanksgiving, there's usually pastel because that's like the thing that people eat while they're waiting to actually eat the main meal. And basically what pastel is, it's a I've seen people use different type of dough, but I like to use egg roll dough. I know some people probably use different kinds of dough, but and it's stuffed with tuna fish. If you know anything about Cape Verdean food culture, tuna fish is a big staple because it's islands. So obviously they live near the mud, which is the water, and basically fish is a popular thing. And the fish is seasoned, everybody seasons it a little differently, but essentially this is what it is. It's a stuffed fish pastry pocket that's usually eaten as like as a appetizer. So give it a shot, Justin, and see what you think. This is one of my favorite things. I love pastel.
This is really good.
Yeah, and like I said, you're gonna have different types of people. I've had people who cook it and it's very, very spicy. I don't personally like.
I can imagine spice being good in this.
Oh yeah, I'm not crazy with super spicy food, but I know people who are, and sometimes people will have like really big chunks of pepper in here and it'll be really spicy. So it all depends on where you go. This one particularly isn't spicy, which is why I like it so much. And let them hear me too. So that's the tuna fish in there, and the different seasonings in there. Now, whoop.
Is there usually like a sauce that goes with this, or just like this?
Okay. So would you eat this again?
Oh god, yeah. No, I was gonna grab another one.
Go ahead, go for it.
We have other stuff to try. I'll leave afterwards. We don't want to be here for 4 hours.
So next thing I wanted him to try is our Cachupa, Cape Verdean Cachupa. But basically what this is a corn and bean like stew. A very thick, hearty, stewy kind of like meal. When people make this food, it's never for just one day. Like you make this food and you're feeding a bunch of people because you don't make it in small quantities.
It's the same in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Those lumpia that we make, you don't make 2, you make 500.
Oh yeah, it's like, I mean, this is meant to be made in a massive, massive pot. And my mom made this for us today. Everybody makes this differently, but the gist of it is it's typically corn. The majority of what you see here is corn. And then you also get beans in it. Some people put like chorizo, which is like
it looks like chorizo. Right?
Yep, definitely chorizo, which is like a Portuguese sausage. Pork is what my mom used. I know some people who use like pig ears, pig feet. Like sometimes they use different things depending on. I'm not a fan of that kind. I think I've seen some people use tuna fish in theirs too. She has some sweet potatoes in her, some potato as well, and cabbage. And that's her version of it. But again, everybody makes it differently. But this is a staple in Cape Verdean food. You go to a Cape Verdean party, you're usually gonna find Cachupa for sure. And it's eaten in a bowl because it's very stew-like. So if you wanna use your own spoon, you can actually just go dig in and grab as much as you like, how much you think you like. Now be careful because when you cook with this pork, you usually leave the bone on because the flavoring.
Yeah, of course.
So you just wanna make sure you grab as much as you'd like or as little as...
There we go.
Oh. So I never liked Cachupa up until maybe just this year, no word of a lie.
Really?
As a Cape Verdean, it's kind of almost like people are like, how can you not like it? It's like the #1 staple in our culture. But I have never been a fan, but I've just recently started liking it, I think because I grew up I started appreciating different kinds of food.
We've been forcing you to try different things.
That's probably it too. SOL has changed my palate. But yeah, so that's what it is. So let's take a bite.
You're welcome.
Very flavorful.
It is very bean forward.
I am definitely not a bean person. Everybody knows that, but that's why I've avoided it for the longest time. But I recently decided it wasn't as much because it's more corn than it is beans. All that the white stuff you're seeing is corn. Yeah.
For some reason, I was expecting more heat out of it.
Oh, that's what's missing. Hold on, I'll be back.
I was like, something about it says like I need heat.
Yes, you're supposed to usually put hot sauce on it. So what are your first thoughts on though?
So like I said, really bean forward. Definitely stew consistency. I love how the pork just falls apart. I'm assuming this was on the stove for like hours. Hours.
It takes hours to cook this. It doesn't. It's a day-long process.
It definitely needs more than Frank's Red Hot when it comes to the spice, because this didn't come through at all.
Put the rest of it on if you want.
I put a whole bunch on there. I don't have a lot left on this. But
it does. Normally you'd use like regular like Tabasco kind of hot sauce. I'm sorry, in this house we don't use that often, so we don't have it. I totally slipped my mind. I wish I grabbed it. Because we normally would eat it without it and we're fine. But I forgot that you usually like spice, so that would have added a difference for you.
Yeah. I think the spice would have really brought this up a little bit, but no, this is really good.
So last thing that we didn't get to try in the last video that I really wanted him to try, but couldn't, is Buffoon is what we call this. We call it Buffoon di patata, which is like Buffoon of potatoes, like what that is. And basically it's like a rolled, like sweet potato, like.
Did your mom make these?
No, we bought this one. So we bought this. I bought this in a pastel, but my mom made the Kochupa for me. Because this takes a lot of time to make.
I was going to say, like, that is like perfectly rolled.
It takes a lot of time to make. None of us in this house are good at making it, but it's such a huge, huge Cape Verdean staple that you have to try it. But this is whoever bought, where I got this, they made it delicious. So, but it's basically sweet potato and like corn flour, and a lot of times. You heat it up usually a little bit. It kind of got cold while we were waiting, but it's still gonna be fine. But
normally sacrilege to break it in half?
We normally don't just eat it, but you can eat it. It's not like any kind of rule
to it.
No.
Oh, okay. So it's just okay. So
it can be very dense, and that's why the heat when you put it in, like heat it up a little bit helps it to reduce that denseness. But
for some reason, I was expecting a filling of some sort.
Oh no, nothing at all. But basically, it's meant to. A lot of people eat it with breakfast. That's kind of like the go-to to have it with some coffee in the morning.
This reminds me. What does it remind me of?
I love Buffoon. My go-to. Every time we do Cape Verdean parties, it's like you see a tray of this thing. I mean, like a tray, and there's always enough for people to take home after. So you always take some home and you have it for breakfast in the morning with your coffee. That's what we do.
You can taste the corn flour, which I love. I love corn flour. Is there usually a dip for this, or is it just like a...
We don't have much dipping, people. I've never had any foods that I've eaten in my culture where we dip a lot. So yeah. So I guess we're gonna be inviting you home for dinner now.
Oh my god!
Thanks for trying it with me, Justin, and letting me make up from the last video. I hope that everybody who watched the last video who kind of gave me a hard time, I redeemed myself, hopefully.
I mean, you didn't make 2 of the 3 items, but I'll forgive you for that. Make sure to hit the subscribe button below. Other videos over there and over there. And I don't know, there's something in the iCard from earlier.
Yeah, I'm sure. The Cape Verdean. If you want to watch the first edition of this, where I didn't do a great job with giving him the right foods, check it out. I'll check you guys later. Bye!